Wow, what a year. As we close 2022, came across an article I wanted to share with all of you out there. The top 15 stories of 2022. Just waking up a little bit here this morning. Get a nice little sip of coffee in there. And let's dive in and talk about some of these top stories from this year as we close out the final day of 2022. Thank you all so much for coming back to the channel. Thank you all for being here for as long as you have been. I've been here talking about crypto since May of 2021. So very, very grateful for everybody who comes to this channel, gets their daily news. Really, really appreciate it. And can't wait to have a fantastic 2023 with all of you out there. So let's dive in to the top 15 stories of the year, guys. So we start with the euro plummeting to a 20-year low against the US dollar due to economic issues, of course, inflation. In the United States, we've dealt with inflation here, but many places globally have dealt with inflation on a much higher scale. In September, reports started that the energy crisis in Europe from the fallout of Russia's war in Ukraine showed no signs of abating. At the time, the euro was changing hands at about 98 cents against the greenback, with the bullish nature of the U.S. currency following the Fed's third 75 basis point hike. Then we had the Bitcoin crash and the Tesla constraints. So this started in 2022, early 2022. And we had the renewed surge in Chinese COVID cases as well. Tesla weathered the shutdown of its Shanghai Gigafactory. Meanwhile, Bitcoin has been largely trading under the 17K threshold for several weeks now. So this ongoing story of the Bitcoin crash and Tesla constraints has been a top story here of 2022. UK inflation, just mentioned it, reaching a 41-year high, came in at 10.7% for November, slightly below the 10.9% that was expected. It has been pretty brutal here in the United States. We were at 9% in June of 2022. So UK inflation and the US inflation, just a massive topic here throughout the entire year. Crypto insolvency crisis. As we know, Terra collapse in May, culminated by the FTX crash here in November. So there are so many companies that have been affected and so many companies that have had to halt operations, especially customer withdrawals, in a desperate bid to retain funds for liquidity survival. It has been a huge liquidity crunch here in 2022. Then, just as a standalone, the FTX bankruptcy, Twitter deal done and dusted. Elon takes over Twitter. This has been a top story, definitely, of 2022. Months after establishing ownership, recent reports suggested that Musk could step down now as Twitter CEO. Recent poll by the controversial businessman revealed that most followers support this move. Meta Platforms drops out of the top 20 of most valuable companies, guys. Facebook has just been decimated this year. They changed the name, Facebook, to Meta, obviously, dropped out of the top 20 most valuable companies. Facebook once hit the $1 trillion market cap in a previous bull run. Meta is now worth $270 billion as of a couple months ago. In perspective, the tech giant is currently barely worth more than pharmaceutical mainstay Pfizer and beverage heavyweight Coca-Cola. The Ethereum merge happened in September. This development came with high expectations, went pretty smoothly. Now we get to see how it plays out here in 2023 and beyond for Ethereum. Meta taps NFTs for Instagram, right? Blockchains including Ethereum, Flow, and Polygon all get a nice little boost as they bring NFTs to Instagram. Leading businesses boycott Russia and slap sanctions following Ukraine-Russia. We've talked about this at length as well. List of companies across the board include tech players, ACN, and Intel and Nokia. Russia also incurred a slew of heavy economic sanctions that systematically crippled the country's economy. Elon Musk and Bernard Arnault tussle briefly for the title of the world's richest here in 2022. Oil prices fluctuating again, right? Constantly made the news due to the fallout of Russia and Ukraine war. Crude fluctuated between astronomically high levels and low levels as consumers felt the brunt of its sharp price changes. Crypto legalization in Ukraine and Brazil has happened in 2022. Just last week, Brazilian President Bolsonaro approved a crypto regulation bill that would facilitate crypto payments for goods and services. The Ronin network scandal also happened. In August, reports covered the attackers who made away with $625 million from Axie Infinity's Ronin network. Microsoft Activision deal on hold. Tech giant Microsoft encountered resistance from the FTC in its bid to complete a $69 billion Activision acquisition deal. Microsoft always looking to acquire great companies. It's interesting because they have a different mindset than Apple, who just sits on a boatload of cash. But those are your top 15 stories that have impacted the cryptocurrency market here in 2022. Again, enjoy this time with family and friends, guys and gals. And I can't wait to rock with all of you in 2023. It's going to be a fantastic year. And we are setting the foundation, laying the groundwork for some great days and great months and great years ahead for all of us, because we're early to cryptocurrency, because we're locked in, we're learning every day. If you want to join us at our private community, links down below in the description. Also, I have a second YouTube channel out now, live on YouTube. That link is down right at the top of the description. Thanks again. We'll talk very soon. Have a fantastic New Year's Eve. See ya.